My friends, many have greater dilemma in choosing their optional subjects, especially for the UPSC civil service examination. And they used to even ask me, sir, how to choose the optional subjects and even to prepare for the optional subjects. It's very simple. See, let's understand some basics of the optional subjects provided by the UPSC. Then we'll get into each and every optional subjects, how it is going to be an advantage for each and every personality, whoever try to choose their optional subjects. One, if we are trying to classify the optional subjects given by the UPSC, then we can have a broader classification. That's nothing but you have a broader classification like science, social science, engineering, then again arts, and there are some other major classification is very important classification, the literature. So, among the science, if someone is actually trying to choose science, actually, it starts have a see variety of science subjects. But one thing very essential: how to choose the science subjects unless you have a proper educational background in attempting any science subjects. It is very important because every science subject requires some basic knowledge, and that basic knowledge to be developed, understood. Then you try to have get into the mode of answering those questions asked by the UPSC. More or less, it's very similar to any university exams. So that is why, in a broader classification of the science optional subjects, we have agriculture. That's very popular. Most of the agriculture graduates, they prefer agriculture, and next to that, in the science again, we have animal husbandry and veterinary science, and botany, chemistry. This is all very conventional. People who have chosen their biotechnology engineering, they have very good opportunity to opt for botany. I know very well one of my student. She is right now in Chhattisgarh as an IAS officer. She is a biotechnology graduate from Anna University, but she preferred to choose because since biotechnology is not part of the UPSC optional subjects, she preferred to choose botany, and she succeeded in taking that and clearing the optional subjects at above average. And the next is again a chemistry, geology, and the geography, mathematics, medical science. Definitely, the medical science graduates have a greater advantage of handling their own special knowledge. And next to it, again, a conventional science subject like the physics. Then you have statistics and also zoology. So all put together, you have around some 11 science optional subjects. So anyone who have a very good educational background, that means their undergraduation and post graduation. If someone has a post graduation, they very well can opt these science subjects and secure an above average if they go through the syllabus and the previous question paper. And the next one is again the arts. Though the arts subject were predominantly taken in the early 1970s and 80s, now people have a greater dilemma to choose art subject because in terms of scorability, people do not have a greater confidence to choose an art subject like economics, history, philosophy. These are all the art subjects, and in the academic discipline point of view, there are the social science subjects which got evolved in 1940s and 50s. In that way, it is very important that especially the later 19th century, that's again like an anthropology, political science, public administration, sociology, management. Even management can be brought into the social science, and psychology. Even the law graduation can be brought under social science because it has a lot of interpretations. So that is why these subjects of the social science in nature are more of a conceptual, like it's not more like a subject like a philosophy, or no, not more scientific like a botany, chemistry. It's a mixture of the science and the arts. So that is why we meant here the social science. So people especially many toppers would have told that they have taken any one of these social science optional subjects, and they'd have stated that this year I scored very good in the social science like anthropology, political science, public administration, and even the sociology. Because you can see these topics given in these subjects are even connected to your GS. That is why people, many aspirants, try to prefer any one of these social science optional subjects. And in the engineering, very important. See, I said though I don't classify as a basic science. I said there are only three engineering subjects available for the engineering graduates. Either you can opt, you can be any engineering for your basic engineering qualification. But here UPSC provides only three engineering subjects. One the civil, the second one is electrical, the third one is mechanical. So you have only three options. But again, the UPSC provides a wide spectrum of literature. That is around some 24. I said there are 26 optional subjects. Among 26, one is the literature. In the literature, from A to Z, if you see that it starts from Asami and also ends with the Urdu literature. So that means anyone prefers to take a specific literature like Asami literature, Urdu literature, Sanskrit literature, English literature, Tamil literature. Many times I've seen, especially the North Indians, they prefer to take Hindi literature, and the South Indians. And since South India has so many languages, from Tamil Nadu, people prefer to take Tamil literature, and for the Andhra Pradesh, the Telugu literature, Karnataka, Kannada literature, and even Malayalam literature for the Kerala people. So the South Indian, every state has its own literature. So they have a wider option to choose their own language literature. So that is the convenience of the literature, which provides around some 24 numbers. So when I classify the literature into these category, I said science, social science, then comes the arts, and also I stated the engineering and the literature. So these are all the broader classification for choosing the optional subjects, and very important. Now, what are the basics an aspirant should look for when they start their preparation? These things are very essential and very important, that it constitutes your choosing your optional subjects constitutes around some one fourth of your total score for the final examination. That's around some 2025. You're going to have around some 500. So it is a very dominant, because two papers which has around some 500 every paper one and paper two, 250, 250, around some 500. So you need to be careful in choosing the optional subjects. So how to choose? This is a basic question. See, I did a mistake. I would like to express myself that what's the mistake which I did. Sometimes when I took my first optional subject for my mains exam, because we had two optional subjects, so I took English literature. Second one, because I appeared with the optional subjects for the prelims examination, public administration, because literature was not available for the prelims examination when I appeared in the year 1998. So I need to choose the prelims optional subjects, which is nothing but the public administration which I was choosing. So I continued the same optional subjects for the mains examination also. So I found that the literature, whatever the literature exposure, and the literature background, and also the expected performance level, that is called EWP. So that the expected the performance was not up to the mark for my literature background, educational background. So I wrongly have chosen without an extensive literature exposure. I just opted out and miserably failed. Then I shifted from literature to psychology and geography. So this is how I initially did greater mistakes again. That mistakes has costed me some 2 3 attempts also. So be careful, since you don't have the optional subjects for your prelims examination. You have only one optional subjects. Try to choose as convenient as possible when you start your preparation. Don't decide after writing your prelims what to choose as my optional subjects, because many do this mistake, and that is why they don't come out with flying colors also. Very important, you need to choose when you begin your preparation, be very clear that which option subjects which you are trying to opt out. And for that, very important one, see the syllabus. When you see the syllabus, sometimes the syllabus may interest you, and don't go by the syllabus numbers, actually chapter numbers. No, so I've seen if you see the history syllabus for paper one, paper two, I don't think any subject has so many chapters. The history optional subject for paper one has around some 21 chapters, and paper two has around some 27 chapters. If you see the management optional subjects again, it has only paper one has 6 chapters, and paper two has 6 chapters. So don't go by the number of chapters, since too many chapters, it is difficult. So go by the content. So when you go by the syllabus content, then you may feel convenient, inconvenient based on understanding the syllabus for paper one, paper two. And also very important that you should always look for the previous question paper, how the questions are being asked in each and every chapter. So before getting into choosing any optional subjects, you can very well try to narrow down some two or three options, and again try to buy one whichever which is interesting you, provoking you, prompting you, maybe an intuition, and all these factors. No, so that basic guide can be brought, and try to read it for a week or at least 10 days. So whenever you find your leisure time, apart from your GS preparation, try to take some time to read some basic chapters. Then you can find your interest and understanding whether you are able to comprehend the given chapters of that particular option subjects. See if you are interested and you are able to comprehend, then it is very well that you can continue of that particular option subjects, and that is why it's very important. And even very important other aspect is again the adequate material available. Sometimes the guides may be available, but you don't find a text. See, nowadays again the texts are available online, so some standard text should be identified for each and every optional subjects. Like someone takes again a psychology, then people try to prefer some mentors notes or even classroom notes also. Apart from that, again, like a Morgan and King, that is found to be the basic book. They try to someone try to suggest for the basic understanding of psychology. The same way here, very important to identify some basic textual source for each and every optional subject. So that is very important, and you need adequate practice for whatever understanding which you developed for any topic and for a particular question. So these are all the basic essentials of choosing the optional subjects, and how you need to go about also. So now let me get into your preparation and some nuances of the optional subjects, because you are given 3 hours time, and you know very well that there are certain optional subjects has its own convenience. Like people think in terms of scoreability, especially geography. In the geography optional subjects, people think that paper two has some 10 first question, 10 map places to be marked and to be written. And even history also, paper one has around some 20 places, again writing it in 30 words. So they think that it is more of a scoreable area, since of more scientific in nature. But someone need to understand that every paper has its own advantages, disadvantages as per the aspirant personality. It is not depends upon the subject as such. That is why it is very important that you need to be very focused and also very specific, that why you have chosen a particular option subjects. In that, let me now get into the preparation of your option subjects. See, when you have started your preparation, very well, now you need to focus on you are expected not to write too much, and very well you know that there are only out of 8 questions, paper one has 8 questions, and Paper 2 will also have same number of questions, 8 questions. That means it is divided into two sections. Section A will have 4 and section B will have 4. And section A, question number 1, forget about section A, section B. Question number 1 and question number 5 is compulsory. And question number 1 and 5 will have again subdivisions of 5 questions each. So that means first question and the fifth question is compulsory. The remaining three questions to be answered. So now you are given the option that you are expected to choose one because the three out of three to be written, because I said already 1 and 5 is compulsory. That means two questions are already not in your hands. It's mandatory to answer all the 5 questions in question number 1 and question number 5. You don't have an optional actually. And now let's get into the rest other 6 questions. So that means section A will have 3 and section B will have another 3. Your mandate again to choose one question from either. If you're choosing two, you need to choose one from the other section. So that is why if people they actually focus on paper one predominantly of any optional subjects or more of a theory, and paper two it is of a more Indian oriented or Indian context. So that is how the paper is strategized. Suppose the psychology paper one is full of theory, and paper two will always have an Indian context of application of psychology in the Indian context. And also even in paper one, section A, if you see, even I have seen the geography section A will be more of theoretical, and section B will be more of a conceptual. So that is why I try to always specialize my preparation, whether because it is all initial orientation. You can't go and try to be very extemporical in your performance in your optional subjects when you appear for the mains examination. You need to plan yourself. Are you going to focus for section A and section B? And I said again that you need to mandatorily acquire knowledge for 1 and 5, whatever topics being chosen. And that is why section A and section B preparation should be properly planned out. If you are properly planning it out, then you will handle in a greater way how to present yourself and take advantage. Because in the geography, I've skipped because section A is more of theoretical. I know very well if I'm writing theory, concentrating on the theory, my scoreability will be I know I'll score average, but deviating from average, I need to concentrate and I need to be more giving more substantial, conceptual, substantial, and also a lot of examples to be provided. So I focused to score on the higher side by concentrating on section B. So this is my strategy, which I was actually opting out how to score from deviating from average and making my paper more conceptual and also creative. So that is one strategy which I opted, concentrating on section B in both the papers, paper one, paper two, in my optional subjects, both public administration and geography. So I here even suggest you that you can plan out how you are going to concentrate your section B chapters and section A chapters also. So these are all the basic orientation of the optional subjects. So I said I've classified. Then I've told about the basics, like you need to concentrate on the syllabus content, previous year question paper, and also the adequate preparation material. Then you need to practice the question paper before attempting any optional subjects for the mains examination. So these are all, and for that you require a constant guidance and mentoring. Those who are subject experts don't go by a layman actually guidance. So you can go for a subject experts, and if they are government professors and government tutors, they are very well, because they have best tutoring orientation for the UPSC point of view, and very well. The other aspects again, how to prepare for paper one, paper two. If you are concentrating on section A and section how to concentrate on section A and section B, and even how to strategize yourself to prepare based on the theory and the application component for your section B part also for both paper 1 and paper 2. So I've told about how to go about for your option subjects. Now let me get into how to prepare for your essay paper, and this is very important. How to prepare for an essay, and I would like to make a separate video how to prepare for an essay, because essay is one paper which you can reveal your personality, and that is one area like in ethics and integrity which can even give the greater option to assess your personality also. So all the best. Choose your optional subjects based on your educational background, your interest, and also I stated very well that you require a comprehension and some kind of an analytical ability, and you should very well think about the content of the syllabus content also. So if all these again, you're sure of assuring one-fourth of the mains score, that is nothing but 2025. All the best for choosing and preparing your optional subjects.